Hey guys, what's going on? Underground Geek here. I want to do a little live review here of a comic series that I've just gotten into. It's called Wolverine Max. It's by Max Comics. Apparently, they did a couple of different stories a couple years ago, and this was one of them that was Wolverine style. And I really like it because it seems to be a lot like the Logan movie kind of feel, like dark and brooding and a little bit more carnage and violence and all that kind of stuff. And I like that in Wolverine because he's a very interesting character like that. I like anti heroes, I like Punisher, and so this was a lot like that. Um, this is issue number 6. I've been reading this so far, and it seems to be pretty good every time. Now this is actually a jock cover on this one, and it's not the best cover, but it's pretty cool. It's got an '80s feel, kind of Las Vegas '80s. I always like this kind of style of font. This is chapter 1. It says after surviving a plane crash off the coast of Japan, Logan was left without any memories of his past. Of course, on the run from the Japanese authorities who believed he had caused the crash, he slowly pieced together the details of his long life, most of which added up to one truth: that he isn't a good man and that he has a lot of blood on his hands. Logan made some amends by restoring the legacy of the Yoshida clan in the past couple issues, the family of his former lover Mariko, and by helping the police catch his vicious former ally Victor Creed, Sabretooth, the real culprit behind the plane crash. Now Logan has left Japan looking to start fresh in a new city, that City of Angels. Alright, so we got Jason Starr as the writer. We got 3 different pencilers for some reason, 2 inkers, and 1 colorist, another letterer. Jock did the cover, and then the editor is Janine Schaefer, and the assistant editor is Jennifer M. Smith. So let's see here if I can get a date on here. See, 2013 is when they did this one. It's the Protector, Chapter 1. So, right off the bat here, I thought this woman that he's talking to was actually like Jean Grey, but she's not. But that may be why he is so drawn to this woman, because she kind of looks like her. But basically, so Logan is playing with his dog on the beach, and then the dog comes over here and causes a big mess on the girl, and she's like one of those high class, high maintenance Los Angeles girls. So she gets kind of upset, and he says, I'm really sorry, and gives her some water, and she gets the sand out of her eyes. And then she kind of gets a look at him, and, he's not very bad looking, and she's kind of like, I don't know. So they get to talking, and she seems pretty interested in talking to him. I really like the way they draw this, because they almost draw it like Hugh Jackman. But they're talking about the dog, and she asks him what the dog's name is, and he says dog, and she's like, "Wow, really? That's all you can come up with?" But so then she asks him what he used to do, of course, and he says that I was in law enforcement. And he's lying, but she says, "Really, law enforcement? That's fascinating. It must be quite exciting. There's never a dull moment, that's for sure." Well, he's not lying about that. And so then she's getting ready to leave and talks to him for just a minute, and then says that she may need him for a job later on, because he's actually like he can drive and all that kind of stuff. Blah blah blah. So she comes to pick him up, and he's in like the oldest truck you've ever seen, and so she's very jazzed up and very classy, and she says, "How old is this truck?" "Like me, even older than it looks." "Not so old." Did you catch that? And definitely has certain charm to it. So then she gives him the address because she wants him to drive her to the place. So obviously she's got something in mind, because she wouldn't just get this strong-looking burly man to drive her anywhere. So when they get there, it's like this big, weird, huge house, and so he's trying to figure out what's going on because there's like these guards there, and it kind of looks like a little bit of a shady deal here. And the dog knows something's going on. He knows something's going on. That it's that primal sense of what's happening. And so he jumps the fence, goes running after him, and the guard's like, what the heck are you doing? And he said, do yourself a favor and go back and play with your dog. He says, I asked politely. Get a cool shot there. The art's not the best, but it's good for what it is. And he says, maybe next time you'll listen. So he smashes their heads in. He's going through the house. Basically, he's rampaging. Now, at this point, he has not used his claws once. He's just using his brute strength. He's throwing these guys around. He gets in there. The guy is obviously harassing the girl there, and she's trying to get him to stop. And so he throws a dude off of her, gets shot, brushes it off. Then he starts really shooting into Wolverine. And at that point, Wolverine, his instincts take over, and he gets his claws out. And look at that shot there. He's coming in. Hey, look. Hey, Dark Philly. You remember that last comic? Pop, pop, pop. This one's bam, 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 because that's how bullets actually sound. And so then he takes that dude out pretty viciously. At this point, the girl's probably freaking out, wondering what's going on. So they jump in the truck and fly off. And the dog's like, ruff, ruff. So as they're trying to get away, they have to run through the gates. And he says, are you okay? Sorry, I got up there as soon as I could. And she says, are you mad? Who are you? What are you? Because, she's freaking out. And I was just doing my job. You want me to protect you, right? I told you to wait outside. Wait outside so he could try to rape you? I've known Frankie for years. He's harmless. Obviously she's lying to herself. She was trying to get something out of that. And so did she know who I really was? Was I being played? Was this whole thing a setup? It's really the things that go through somebody's mind. When, he's not very trusting. Neither is she. So as they're more about how they're talking about things here, she says, are you sure you're okay? I saw those bullets. They must have just grazed me. I'm sorry I put you through so much trouble, and I won't pry into your life, I promise. So she pays him. Would you mind walking me up to my room just to make sure everything's okay? I'm frightened to go up alone. Thank you, Jake. I really appreciate it. That's his fake name that he made up. So then they go upstairs. He says, looks all clear. But the man you killed, he's a close friend of Frankie's. What if Frankie, you're going back to London in the morning, right? Then everything will be fine, I promise. Stay, I want you to hold me tonight. So he, of course, like an idiot, tells her no. And he goes to leave, and he knows something's wrong. He says, it's how I feel when my claws pop out. All logic, all rational thoughts disappears. It's a wild scream to lash out, to kill, to inflict maximum damage. He says, and I always listen to my instincts. And they killed the poor freaking dog. Looks like they cut its throat. And I am just like Wolverine right now. I am ticked. Can't believe they did this. And that's where it ends. It's a cliffhanger till the next issue. So all in all, this is a pretty good comic. I mean, you guys should definitely check it out. I mean, it's got good story. It's got decent action. It's not the best art, but it's pretty good. I mean, look. Pretty awesome. That one looks a lot like Hugh Jackman to me. But it's been a pretty good series, and I've liked every issue, and I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to see it through to its entirety. I mean, heck. And this is what we were talking about in the last issue. He's trying to get ready in case he loses his memory again. So he's actually been writing down everything that's been happening, and that way he can go back on the notebook and check. And it says, met a woman today on the beach, Candace Cassidy. She hired me to be her driver. So it's kind of cool, you know. It shows a very human side of him. He had his pet that he was taking care of. He was starting to loosen up some, and then he had something to lose. Pretty cool. Anyway, tell me what you guys think about this comic. Tell me if you've been reading this comic before. This is a Jock cover, by the way, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. Now it is explicit content, but it's like it's some hardcore action to me. I like it. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos, and I hope you have a great day. Underground Geek out.